Yes, ma'am, on time? Bring the love, bring the love. What's that?
I'm gonna have Tom now. Try to get out. I'm gonna be able to put one together. So when you give it to me at the council committee meeting, I'll be able to select it. So we'll run that once a month. Yeah. Everybody. Right.
Everybody.
Steph. Yeah. Where was it?
All right, I think we're ready. It's 6 o'clock. It didn't come. Call the meeting to order. Alderman Ashby for the invocation.
Dear Heavenly Father, we just thank you for this day and for this evening, Lord. We just ask that as we come into your house, Lord, that we would just respect one another and, Lord, do the right things for the city of Crowley, Lord, that we would grow it in the direction that you would have us to grow it. We ask all these things in the name of Jesus. Amen.
Amen. Pledge of allegiance. Alderman Martin, please, sir.
Pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Roll call. Is it working? You got it working?
Yes.
Okay.
Chuck Ashby.
Here.
Amy Sheffield. Here. Brad Ford.
Here.
Jeff Dorey.
Here.
Vicky Lachlan. Ernie Martin. Sandy Moore.
Here.
Sammy Reagan. And Byron Lowry.
Here.
Thank you, Mel. We do have a quorum. We don't have any public hearings, appearances. No appearances. Agenda amendments. I would like to have a motion to amend the agenda. We'll add 9.5 to the agenda, number 9.5. We can, instead of putting it in a committee report,
I so move.
hold on, Sandy, she knows what I want, to discuss and hopefully approve salary increases for city employees, including firemen, and appropriate those funds. We have a motion from Alderwoman Marks, a second from Alderman Dorey. Roll call, please.
Chuck Ashby.
Here.
Yes.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Katie Sheffield.
Yes.
Brad Ford.
Yes.
Jeff Dorey.
Yes.
Ernie Martin.
Here.
Sandy Moore.
Yes.
Byron Lowry.
Yes.
That is all yeses, correct? Thank you, ma'am. All right, thank you all. So approval of minutes of regular council meeting held on November 8th of 2023.
Offer.
Offered by Alderman Martin, Second by Alderman Wilrich. All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. All right, Mayor's report, sales tax chart. Let's get to that. We're about $8,000 less than last year at this time. Last month, we had a 11.2% increase over last year, which was really nice. We're about 7,000 or 8,000 less than last year at this time. And the sewer user fees, I don't know why, but we've got a 30.9% increase in sewer user fees. $204,956 compared to $156,567 last year. Last year this time. Yeah. I don't know why. All right, so we'll go to 9.5, which is the salary increases. I emailed you all the information. I do want to express upfront my apologies and how this is definitely not like how I have been and want to do things, bringing it up at the last minute. But we've been doing some work on this with some of the department heads, obviously with the fire department also, and I've been pushing it back for many months. Employees come to me quite regularly begging for some help, and I keep telling them to give us time, give us time. I was able to actually meet with Chrissy. I gave Chrissy the information last week for her to look over. I was able to meet with her, the CPA, this morning. She was working at City Hall this morning, and I included her email in your information packet on this stuff. And originally, we had probably every city employee with at least something. Her and I sat down, and because I hate asking for more money before I can give you a piece of paper to say how much we got where, I've pushed it off this long, and we've even taken some of the employees off of this list for now. And as Christy says in her email, when we get better financials, that we can revisit this and include some of those employees also. Most of these are to bring kind of a starting pay or a base pay, or kind of the lowest paid up to about $13 an hour. Some of these employees are making $8.50, $9.50 an hour. I've seen many of their checks, and they bring home $600 to $800 every 2 weeks. There's not many loaves of bread you can buy with that. One thing that I've been working on diligently is trying to find things that we can cut costs on. You can, a couple of those things you get are sitting in here, and I fuss at them all the time. And I'm like, are you charging me for this email? Are you charging me for this phone call? And that's our city attorney and our engineer that's sitting here. I'm sure they're tired of asking me asking if they're charging me, but they're obviously not the only expenses that I'm trying to cut, but we're working to change our phone system, and that's going to save us $20,000 a year. Yes, that number you heard correctly. $20,000 a year we're going to save on phones. That's not cell phones, that's landlines in the buildings. And that doesn't include the police department because of their contract right now, but we're working on that within the next year or so. But anyway, I'm constantly working on cutting costs on anything that we can, because I know that each one of you want to do that, but my goal is to bring these employees up to a living wage, something that's fair. And so the spreadsheets that you all have will show you that. There are the number for the sewer would come out of sewer. That is funded. The rest of it would be out of general fund. I know people sitting out there are asking or trying to figure out how much. We're looking at about $340,000 for the year for citywide minus police department, because they've gotten theirs. So what I'm asking for is about $340,000 from general fund for the year, for some salary increases kind of across the board for some of these city employees. I'll tell you that I can strive every day to be the best mayor on this planet. And you and I can work together as a team of 10 people, the biggest heart, the most love for this city. But none of us, no matter how many days I spend in the street sweeping, none of us can run this city without these employees. I cannot do what I've done the past year in this city without our city employees. They are absolutely valuable, and it's time that we try and show them that. There was a question, when would this go into effect? My expectations would be next pay period. Next pay period starts on December 17th, which is Sunday. The following pay period, if you want to push it back till then, would be 2 weeks from then, which would be December 31st. And then every 2 weeks following that, if you're interested in pushing it back any. But if you have any questions or concerns, obviously I'd love to hear from you. I do know that this is short notice. You just got this information today. And I just got the information from the CPA today that she feels as though we can handle this within our budget to run the city and give these salary increases. So I would entertain a motion and a second, and then we can do some.
I so move. I'd like to,
Hold on a second, Sandy, we have you move.
I would like to move that we allocate $340,000 for employee raises from the general funds to be effective on the next pay period, December 17th.
Okay, that 340 is an estimate.
Okay.
So I don't want to lock it in at 340, maybe 342, maybe 338. How about we say as presented to the council on these spreadsheets?
I'll accept that.
And appropriate the funds to do so.
Okay.
So your motion is to approve the salary increases citywide, including fire department, except police, correct, as presented. The police department already got it.
It would take that long.
Yeah. The police department already got it, it's not that we leave it out. Effective next pay period, December 17th,
Correct.
and to appropriate funds accordingly.
Correct.
That motion is made by Alderwoman Marks, second by Alderman Ashby. Discussion. All in favor? Oh, you got this. Go ahead, Mr. Martin, go ahead.
Yeah, well, first of all, sorry I wasn't here last week. This is food. If you ain't got that shot, please go get it. One of the things that I strive for is equal representation and equal pay. I thought at one time that, and Jeff, you could probably think on it, that we had said that we would never let the city employees go under minimum wage, if you remember back in the day. And I thought that we had come to a $10 an hour base. I don't know if y'all remember that, but Jeff? No, I know it was.
Yeah, I know it's been talked about quite a bit.
Well, no, it was supposed to have been implemented, not talked about.
This actually goes above that.
Well, I mean, it goes above that now, but $10
Yes.
an hour is like $5.
Yes,
Yeah. So we gotta be cordial on what we're doing, but at the same time, we gotta recognize the facts. We gotta take care of our people, because like you just mentioned earlier, our people take care of us. But I thought, in fact, I'm positive that we had base minimum wage with the city of Crowley with anticipation of bringing it up to 15 later.
yes.
I just wanna.
And that's something we can visit later once we get better financials. This is just to get our people up to something respectful this time. I'll tell you that unless any of the employees are watching the live, none of them knew that this was coming up this evening, including the fire department. The fire chief did not even know this was coming up this evening. I didn't let any of them know. I knew that, the council's heart is there, so I wasn't worried about that, but I think this will be a great surprise and received very well. Many of you will probably end up getting some phone calls from probably some somewhat emotional employees, I'll tell you. And some of these numbers aren't very much, $1 and some change here and there. There are a couple that have been left behind for many years, and according to their duties have been left behind. And there's a little more there, but I promise you these employees are going to be extremely grateful for these increases. Any other discussion? Mr. Wilbridge.
This spreadsheet that you gave everybody, it details what it's showing us. If it's shown us by department, by the personnel working in the department, and how much they're making now, or how
Yes.
much they're making way back then?
No, now, so what it shows is, and for the council's eyes, it gives you their names. We won't give employees names in those positions publicly, but those positions' salaries will be public, or it is public records. But it shows you their current salary and current hourly rate.
I understand,
And then the proposed,
spreadsheet,
okay.
but the question I got is how long this spreadsheet was done up?
This was updated today.
So how you got two people working at the MLK Center and one of their names not even on the spreadsheet?
We can discuss that if you want to discuss that. Recreation department, fire department, and sewer department all came from those department heads.
Well, I'm saying
The rest of them,
it's Shane Jarrett and Mr. Cormier work at the MLK Center. But we got Mike Thomas that's nowhere in the system.
Michael Thomas is on that spreadsheet that I sent you, sir.
But he don't work at the center.
No, they have him listed at the recreation department, just as the janitor at the recreation department. He's underneath Peter and
Let me caution everybody about the numbers and the names. Please do not release those that's approved information. Unless an employee specifically gives you permission to discuss his salary and to release it, you cannot do that. There's a point, it's only for the council guys, so I think that can be rectified, you know, it's within the budget. It's all employees, it's what the motion says, so.
But it's as presented, it's not all of the employees right now. Some of them, as stated in the first sheet in that email that you got, will be brought up
Only
at a later
question I
date.
got is, do we have a Michael Thomas work in recreation? Where you work at?
He works at the recreation department. He's the janitor at the recreation department,
At the MHA Center?
at the main building.
That is a question for that department head. You and I can go meet with him tomorrow if you want. We can go discuss that with him and answer all these questions. As far as for who is working where, I really don't. I can't keep up with that.
I'm certain that's where he works.
Yeah. Then again, you saying for low department heads that make it, so do we have a set salary we talking about? If I'm making $35,000 a year, I'm part of that pay rate?
The people who are listed on this spreadsheet are part of the pay raise that is being proposed this evening. If there is someone that is not listed on this spreadsheet that is an employee of this city, which there are some of those, there's a handful of people that are not listed on this spreadsheet that are part of the city, they're not making $9.50 and $10.50 an hour. They're making more than that an hour right now, and we can visit them and their salaries at a later date when we get better financials, which is what this first sheet said up front, was that's what we were doing.
I read what she's put, but
Right.
the question I got, y'all should have did a better spreadsheet to show us though.
Should we,
It doesn't take nothing to do a spreadsheet.
Mr. Byron, we only included the employees that we are giving a salary increase to, or that I am proposing to give a salary increase to this evening. I didn't add any other numbers in there because then the total number would be different. I don't want you to approve salary increases for some people because they are in a much better position at this point than some of these people that are on this paper. And so you're not gonna see some names on there.
I beg to differ on
And I'll be happy to discuss that. It's tough to discuss person by person, employee by employee publicly. It's really tough to do that.
that. So if that's the case, then we just had to approve it and get on.
No, sir.
The law prohibits you from discussing your salary with an individual in open session. You are not allowed by law unless that employee specifically authorizes that in writing.
The question I asked wasn't about nobody's salary person.
I still don't understand, maybe.
What you shaking your head?
Ask your question again. Maybe I don't understand, but.
Oh, I'm good with it, but see, prior to this meeting that we had in December, we had a meeting that never was followed on before we took office. And I'm gonna get with you on that,
Okay.
because in June, we should have made a decision that we ain't made yet. So you think about it.
I think I know what you're talking about. And I've been working on that.
We a year in, we a year out.
I can make that decision tomorrow if you want. Bring it to the next meeting.
It ain't me. That's, everybody that's sitting there had that same meeting with me.
Okay. So in the case of these salary increases, is there any other questions for these spreadsheets?
No, I ain't got no question, I'm good.
Okay. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you all. Standing committee reports. Public Works Committee.
Thank you, Mayor. Public Works Committee convened Wednesday, December the 6th, 2023, 4 p.m. in the council chambers, and a quorum was present. Under action items, a motion was made by Alderman Brad Cord, seconded by Alderman Byron Wilbridge, to adopt a resolution authorizing the preparation of specifications and letting the bids for fiscal year 2023-24 materials contract for a period of March 1st, 2024 through August the 31st, 2024. Motion carried, I so move.
Second.
Offered by Alderman Dorey, second by Alderman Martin. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Next item, a motion was made by Alderwoman Sandy Marks, seconded by Alderman Byron Wilbridge, to adopt a resolution authorizing a 6-month extension of 2 of the existing contracts for fiscal year 2023-2024, internal television inspection of storm drains and sanitary sewer system contractor through August 31st, 2024. Motion carried, and I so move.
Offered by Alderman Dorey, second by Alderman Cord. Discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries.
Under non-action items, Public Works Director Albert John was not present at the meeting, so Alderman Jeff Dorey read Mr. John's monthly report. City Engineer Tim Mader presented the monthly engineer's report, and then we recess.
Thank you, sir. Utility, Alderman Martin.
Well, Tim, I'll go ahead and yield to
Thank you, Alderman.
Sorry about that. Yes, ma'am. Alderwoman Marks.
The Utility Committee convened Wednesday, December the 6th at 4 p.m. in the council chambers. A quorum was present. Under action items, a motion was offered by myself, Sandy Marks, and seconded by Alderman Jeff Dorey to approve partial payment estimate number 15 to NCMC LLC for the rehabilitation of the sewage collection system project in the amount of $11,653.65, and the motion carried. Under non-action items, I'm sorry.
Move to
I so move to approve.
Offered by Alderwoman Marks,
Second.
second by Alderman Dorey. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Okay. Under non-action items, wastewater superintendent Tim Crater was attending a conference and unable to attend to present the monthly wastewater report. City engineer Tim Mader presented the monthly engineer's report. Under discussion, Chris Hughes asked Tim Mader about the 5-step improvements to the wastewater treatment facility. Mr. Hoosiers was concerned about trucks that would possibly remove rocks and travel over a bridge and damage the bridge. There was no further action to come before the Utility Committee, and the committee recessed.
Thank you, ma'am. All right, Recreation. Alderman Ashby.
Recreation Committee convened Wednesday, December 6, 2023, at 4 p.m. in the council chambers, and a quorum was present. There was nothing under action items. Non-action items, Recreation Director Peter Kirsch presented the monthly Recreation Department report. City Engineer Tim Mader presented the monthly engineer's report. There was no further business to come before the Recreation Committee, and the committee recessed.
Thank you, sir. Zoning annexation. Let's see, Alderman Martin. Do you have it?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
Okay. The Zoning and Annexation Committee convened Wednesday, December the 6th, 2023, at 4 p.m. in the council chambers. A quorum was not present. There was no further business, and the committee recess.
Thank you, Mel. Public Safety, Alderman Core.
Thank you, Mayor.
If you hold on a second, we do have a speaker card in reference to one of the liquor licenses. If y'all want to hear the speaker card first, let's see. How about, we can wait to hear from her whenever we get to her, her license. That'll work. Go ahead.
Sure. The Public Safety Committee convened Wednesday, December 6, 2023, at 4 p.m. in the council chambers, and the quorum was present. Under action items, a motion was offered by Alderman Brad Core and seconded by Alderman Jeff Dorey to approve all beer and liquor licenses listed below the logo, with the exception of the hangover. The council would like further discussion of complaints of fighting, etc., and an excessive amount of police calls to report to the business. Alderman Sam Reggie recused himself from the vote. The motion carried, and I so move.
Offered by Alderman Core. Second by Alderman Dorey. Discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries.
Do we want to hear from the representative from the hangover report that was deferred?
Yes. Katie?
Katie Alamo.
Microphone on, please. Station anything.
My name is Katie Alamo. I had prepared a speech. I decided not to use that speech because I'm extremely nervous. I haven't done this in a while. Majority of you know me. You know me pretty well, and you know that ultimately I want the best for Crowley. So obviously I wouldn't bring a business to Crowley, especially Main Street. That would be a problem child. In the bar industry, it's something new to my husband and I, something that we had never done. We own 2 other businesses, but we had never done the bar thing. It's very unique. The bar industry is very unique. And as Chad, the mayor, would know, you have to go through some growing pains to get things to level out. We definitely experienced that. We experienced that, and we had a lot of calls. That's obvious. But what I want you to look at is that we have, for the most part, fixed the problem. We realized that we had some people that were coming around that had ill intentions. We realized that there were some things that we needed to put into place to make sure there weren't problems. Ultimately, it was growing pains, and ultimately, I can't tell you how much I've worked myself, I've put into making it better. Chuck, we have JMU next door to us now. I mean, obviously, we value our neighbors, we value Main Street. I myself put a lot of work into Crowley itself. And so I want you to keep that in mind, knowing that, of course, we're doing everything we can. I don't go to the bar very often unless it's after hours to do work, but because I do own 2 other businesses, I know that was brought up, but I go there just to make sure that things are flowing properly. I also want you to keep in mind that I've never been cited. My establishment has never gotten a ticket for open container or selling after hours. We've never been ticketed for minors drinking in our bar. They've never caught minors. We have never broken a law. I've taken steps to eliminate some of the fights. One, by hiring police officers every Friday, every Saturday night. That cost me $280 a night. Some nights we don't make that. But to hinder, like to keep the people that are causing problems away, I will continue to do that. Just to make sure that my place is safe. Obviously, I have daughters that are of age. I want my daughters, your kids, whoever, anybody to come to my establishment and feel safe. And we're working towards that. We did have a lot of calls in the beginning. I'm not sure if your paperwork shows it, I'm not sure what you see, but a lot of the calls that did go to the police department were initiated by myself or my bartenders, majority of them. Like I said, we do have police officers sitting outside the front, so, obviously if they see someone walk out with a beer, there may be an open container. I can call out any of the officers that have worked detail at my bar to tell you that I'm constantly making sure that there is no outside, nobody's sitting outside, nobody's drinking outside. There's so many things. We hire security, we warn people. We've gone through the whole process of trying to make it a safe establishment, and we have not had a call since, except for a diabetic guy. He fell into a coma. Chad was with the police officers when they came. He fell into a diabetic coma in my bar. Scariest thing ever. But other than that, we have not had a single call since long before Rice Festival. None. So I want you to know that we have, I'm not gonna say we fixed it. It's a bar. We're never gonna eliminate all of the fights. We're never gonna eliminate all of the calls. But we are taking steps and have taken steps to rectify what the past has shown.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Mr. Martin.
Okay, so the reasoning for not renewing a license is what you,
That was last week. Brad asked that it be sent to the full council because of the number and type of complaints over the past year at that establishment. And she's just explained her remedy, I guess, for that. But it was sent to the full council, not voted on in committee last week, and sent to the full council to vote on because of that, to be able to hear from the owner also.
well, again, I asked the chief, how do you feel about it?
I think she's done everything possible. She hired security from us, which costs a lot of money per week to have two officers stand out there. I think she's doing exactly what she can. She took over, basically there was another business similar to the one that she has that had a lot more trouble. I would say there's a big difference from the bar previous to the bar that's there now. It's definitely being managed a lot better from the previous business that was there. I'd be very much in support of renewing the license.
Well, you heard from the chief, which is the chief, judicial remedy for whatever goes on in the city. Where's the bar?
It's 2nd Street across from First Bank.
First National.
Yeah. You want to offer a motion, Mr. Martin?
I make a motion that we go ahead and give her a license, then keep a close eye on whether it gets any worse.
Motion from Alderman Martin to approve. Second by Alderman Core. Discussion?
Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
Mayor. Is there a line item, I know we discussed in committee, of some of the infractions other than the fights and then the higher the security? Because that seems to be a common thing at any bar that there's going to be.
Sure.
What else happened that brought it to the attention that there were 25 complaints and illegal parking?
I think a lot of that, I didn't examine it a whole lot, Alderman Cord talked about it briefly. He did request some information about it. I looked through it and I noticed that some of it was also initiated, which the officers tend to park outside, they oversee the bar, sometimes from across the street, sometimes underneath. So you may have someone leaving with a beer from one bar down the street, walking to their bar, and then they get cited. Well, when that officer calls a complaint in, it's gonna actually show underneath that bar. That where the officer was working. So some of that may not truly apply to, necessarily being from that business, but it went on that business because that's the way the officer was working. So, like I said, if they come walking down the street with that open container, they're gonna start a complaint, issue a citation, but it's gonna go underneath that bar's name, so it may not really apply to it. And something would be from it, but I truly believe she's doing the best that she can do. No other bars right now are hiring police to work security at their place. I mean, it's very expensive to do that.
Well, it appears that Ms. Katie is proactive in addressing those issues, and she's aware of them, and whoever's managing them. Are there anything else going on in illicit outside that is not in her control, or?
No, I think they're doing pretty much everything they could. I don't see they must be having somebody maybe clean up the parking lots when they because I really don't see any beer bottles, anything outside. I don't know if they had anything like that. So they're probably making their employees make the rounds in the parking lot, picking it up.
I think we have an ordinance on parking that you have to park, head into the park place, or not like the car show. Is that a problem?
Well, you're not supposed to back up into the parking spot, especially on the highway.
Yeah, but that doesn't cause any problems, does it?
Well, it's just a little, dangerous backing up on the road like that.
Okay, so that's kind of an ordinance thing.
I wouldn't advise, that you back up and park.
Yeah,
And when you pull out, you actually, the angle of the parking is
Ms. Katie's
different.
So we do a Jeep night every month, and the Jeepers were parking, they were backing up their Jeeps. It's a Jeep thing, it's weird, kind of like car people who have their things. So, but Brad did talk to me about it, and Troy has spoken to me about it. I didn't realize that it was an issue, them backing in instead of pulling in, but I have noted it, have fixed it. We had a Jeep night last Thursday, it was corrected, they all parked, First National Bank, so that they want to show off their Jeeps. We want to show off our Jeeps, but we have fixed that. We have.
Thank you for addressing that too, Katie.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ms. Katie.
Alderman Ashley?
I go into the office, which is right next door to them, quite a bit at night to work, and they never have anyone loitering. They're always inside. And every morning when I go to work at 7, it's clean. There's never anything on the sidewalk. It's always picked up.
Do they offer you a drink? Okay.
I have to go to 5 o'clock every morning before I go to work to make sure that the parking lots are clean. I promise that to Barry Morton when I open.
After he vacuums at home?
Yeah, true story. But I will make that promise to Barry Morton when we open, and I will keep that promise. My husband has kept that promise. We clean up every morning at 4 or 5-ish, something like that.
Ms. Kate, I want to thank you for being due diligent on that. Anytime I've been down in that area, it's always looked good.
We try. I mean, we really do value Main Street. I love being on Main Street. Like I said, the bar industry is a hard industry, but we're trying to get a grip on it. And we do everything we can.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you, Mayor. The next items did not go to committee, which are applications for 2024 beer and liquor permits. The first is CC Pontiac LLC DBA Lucy's Fresh Market, Greg Cormier, 803 Hutchinson Avenue. Mayor, I believe this is what we approved last month.
Yes, so-
2023.
Correct. They purchased a 2023 license for 1 month at full price, and then now they're purchasing, or they're trying to purchase a 2024 to review their 23. Yes.
And Chief, you signed off on the application?
Yes.
Okay. With that said, I'll make a motion to approve this application.
I'll second.
Offered, second by Alderman Martin. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Next is PJ's Grill, Peter Boulay, 2021 North Parkson Avenue for a 2024 Class A retail beer permit and a 2024 Class A retail liquor permit. I make a motion to approve this application.
Offered by Alderman Core, second by Alderman Dorey. Discussion?
And Chief, you've reviewed that application and I've looked at the police reports
All in favor?
and
Opposed? Motion carries.
the third one is TJBR Enterprises LLC, doing business as Firehouse Cafe, Joe Romero, 723 South Parkinson Avenue, for a 2024 Class A retail beer permit. And I so move to approve.
Second.
Offered by Alderman Core, second by Alderman Marks. Discussion?
Chief, you reviewed that application as well and signed up. Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Under non-action items, Alderman Core read the update on the blighted properties that appeared on the August 14th, 2023 special meeting agenda. Alderman Brad Core read the monthly police department report provided by Chief Troy Hebert. Chief Louis Romero provided the monthly fire department report that was read by myself. And City Inspector Tony Duhan was not present, and his report was also read by myself. There was no further action to come before the Public Safety Committee, and the committee recessed.
Brad,
Yes.
just have a question, if you don't mind. Mr. Bernard, do you have anything you want to say? You good? Thank you. Well, we had spoke a while back about, he's good.
Okay, all right. Thank you, sir. Public buildings, Alderman Wilrich.
Good afternoon. Before I begin, I know y'all, just because we have discussions don't mean I'm against anybody. It's nice to have discussions and dialogue. When I first took over 5 years ago, that was my first priority, to make sure the city workers, the low city workers get a raise. It didn't make sense. But somebody made it $8 an hour and they could go to McDonald's and make $10 an hour, and they're in the air conditioning and heat instead of being outside. So I'm not against anybody for making more money. It's just the way you present stuff to people. And my daddy told me that. It's how you present it to people. And I read the text about it, giving me something at 4 o'clock or 4 hours before the meeting. It just not suffice to make an intelligent decision. Even though it's for the city workers and them to make more money, you still ought to give us more time. And I understand, and me and you talk and all that. I'm not against anybody. I'm for the city of Crowley. I love the city of Crowley. It's my hometown, just like everybody else in it. And I want to see Crowley even better than when I was a kid. Because I love Crowley. If I could go back to the time I was raised here, I'd go back to Barn. And I just wanted to put that out.
Yes, sir. Yes.
And you take it for what it's worth. I want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year and a prosperous New Year coming in. We got our 1 year underneath our belt. We're doing great things, so let us continue to strive to do great things. But other than that, public business convenes December 6, 2023. We had a quorum present. On the action items, there was none, and on the non-actions, there was none. With there being no further business to come before public buildings, we recess.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, can I make a
Yes, sir.
statement?
Go ahead.
you know, listening to both sides of this, and Brian, I want to be the first to congratulate you on having, and I used this word a while back, and I got text on it and asked about it. You said someone had the audacity to do it. Well, the reason why I use the term audacity is because you got to be straight up with it, because you're challenging the system. And I think, Mayor, well, I was in Baton Rouge when you called.
Yes, sir.
And it kind of shocked me, to be honest with you, but I look at the total of the sum, not just parts of it. And first thing came to mind, and with all due respect on both sides, going back to what it was before. Yeah, I mean, that's what came to mind, because it was so short. But once again, the whole sum of it is nothing but positive, nothing but positive. And I think, and I'm not speaking for him, but from having words that him and I had, I think it's incumbent on us as a council to make sure that everything is done in proper order. Okay? Now, one of the things I was worried about when you mentioned about some employees and some getting and some not, I was saying to myself, well, Lord, here we go, we'll start the year with a war. But after you explain it, it's more clear. And I think that's the problem that we have right now, is that it wasn't explained. But I know it's a last minute thing, and I applaud you for doing it, because look, everything that these employees can get, I'm for 100%. And I wish there was a way for us to cover the whole board, but apparently it's not.
I think soon there'll be a way.
Well, I mean,
We
as
want-
long as they understand, I mean, they're on the top feed of the plate right now. Because we got some looking at the bottom feed. So I just want to make that clear, and I hope that help you out with thinking of it. Because I've seen both sides of it. And the best side of it is that our employees win. True. That's the best side. So I just want to, just let me know that we all for, because y'all have heard me, I got thrown out of this place for many times, fighting for employees. But it is what it is. So thank you.
Mr. Martin and Mr. Willrich, my goal, and I think I've given it a hell of a shot over the past 12 months, is to not give you nightmares of times going by. This is definitely not how I like to do things. If you look back over the last 12 months, you'll notice that I have put stuff out there to y'all well before, as much as information as I can. Again, this is something that we've been working on, and these employees are begging. And what better opportunity right before Christmas than to give them a little boost. One of the council members made a good point. And he said, these numbers may look big. Some of these numbers may look big, but our city is so far behind on where our employees should be. We have to make big steps. We made a big step with the police department. Much needed big step with the police department. And I'll tell you, those men and women appreciate that immensely. And again, we can all go home, because we can't do it without our employees. No way. So I do apologize again for the late notice. I apologized in the email when I sent it to you all. And I promise you, this is not the way I want to do things. It just had to happen quickly, once I got the information that I needed. So, thank you all.
Mayor, I'd just like to point out, that I know our CPA, who I have full confidence in, has been working on the folks since day one throughout the year. She recommends that this be done. She has enough information to know that we're not placing the city within a financial burden or hardship by making
Yes.
these salaries occur. So I just want to say we're just not basing on what you provided us a few hours ago, but her backup information.
Yes,
And
and-
support that gives us a lot of confidence and not just, a brief overview of what you wanted to.
Correct. And that was something that I waited on also, to be able to get with her, to go over that. I cherish her opinions. She is deep into those finances, I tell you. And, if there's one thing that keeps me up at night, it's those finances. Because I don't have paperwork for myself, but I can't give you all the information that y'all need. That's definitely something that keeps me up at night, so, thank you all. Insurance and personnel,
Thank you.
Alderwoman Marks.
Thank you, Mayor. The Insurance and Personnel Committee convened Wednesday, December the 6th, 2023, at 4 p.m. in the council chambers. A quorum was present. There were no action items. There were no non-action items, and no further business to come before the Insurance and Personnel, and the committee recessed.
Thank you, ma'am. Community and Economic Development, Alderwoman Chesson.
Thank you, Mayor. The Community and Economic Development Committee convened Wednesday, December 6, 2023, 4 p.m. in the council chambers. A quorum was present. There were no action items. Under non-action items, Alderwoman Katie Chasson spoke about upcoming events in Crowley. There was no further action to come before the Community and Economic Development Committee. The committee recessed.
Thank you, ma'am. Revenue and Finance, Alderman Ashby.
Thank you. I thought you were gonna say Katie since her name was on here, and I was gonna say I didn't want to be Katie anyway. Revenue and Finance Committee convened Wednesday, December 6, 2023, at 4 p.m. in the council chambers. A quorum was not present. There were no action items. There were no non-action items. There was no further business to come before the Revenue and Finance Committee, and the committee recessed.
And Alderman Lachele sends his regrets for not being able to attend again. He'd much rather be here than dealing with his health right now. Resolutions. A resolution of the Mayor and Board of Aldermen of the City of Crowley, Acadia Parish, Louisiana, introducing a proposed ordinance and calling for a public hearing concerning the same. An ordinance to amend and reenact Chapter 2, Administration, Section 2-3, same time, place of meetings of the Code of Ordinance of the City of Crowley to change the time of regularly scheduled monthly city council meetings to the third Tuesday of each month at 6 p.m. and committee meetings to the second Tuesday of each month at 4 p.m. To repeal all ordinances or parts of ordinances contrary thereto or in conflict therewith, to provide for the provisions hereof to be severable, and to provide for all matters relative thereto. I would offer a motion, okay? Offered by Alderman Martin. Second by Alderman Dorey. Discussion. Mr. Court.
Mayor, just for consideration, the times of the meetings, could possibly be moved both to 5:30 p.m. And that's what interrupt with the administration and so forth.
Sure.
To keep them consistent.
Yeah, I've always thought about the 4 p.m. committee meetings. Committee meetings are really when our citizens can come and discuss things and give their opinions and their points of views. And that's when they are given the most opportunity to come up and let us know exactly how they feel, besides phone calls throughout the week or month. But that gives our citizens their time at the microphone. Starting at 4 p.m., it's tough for a working citizen. I think the reason that committees started earlier is because there's so much business that goes on, and there's so much discussion that goes on, and it does take longer, and starting it later would just end it later. I'm open to whatever y'all wanna do. I think moving it back to the second and third week, thank you for that opinion, will help with, those numbers that, like you said, we're always waiting for. Sometimes they come in the next week and, you know, the meeting's over with, so it's, you know, we have to wait till the following month. So I think moving it back, 1 week, moving both of them back 1 week is gonna be a great thing. The time, I mean, I'm open to that. That's something we can discuss over the next month. And we can make that change with the public hearing, and then with the vote. We can vote that, you know, we approve it with these changes, and then we can change the wording of the ordinance, am I correct? Next month, at the council meeting next month, and reflect whatever time. That'll give time for us to talk to the people and see what they think about it, because, again, great point that committees are really when our citizens have the opportunity to speak and give us hell or thank us or whatever they need, whatever we did right or wrong. But it gives them that opportunity then, and it's starting at 4 is tough for some of them. I do agree with that. So let's work on that over the next month, before the public hearing next month, and hopefully we'll hear from some citizens whether or not they would like to see it at 5:30, 6 o'clock for both of them, whatever it may be. We definitely have room for that. That's the whole. I say the whole. That's a great reason why we have to offer a resolution to call for a public hearing, get it out there so people know about it, and then give them time to discuss it. So tonight we're just approving the resolution, offering the resolution to call for the public hearing, which will be at the January meeting on January 10th at 6 p.m. Public hearing will be at 6, and then council meeting will follow after that. And then the council will then vote on the ordinance at that time. Once voted on, it'll be recorded within the next few days, and it would take effect for the February meeting. Now, the February meeting will fall on February 14th. I'm sorry, February 13th. February 13th is Mardi Gras Day. So between now and February 13th, we'll discuss whether we want it on the Monday, the 12th, or the Wednesday, the 14th, but then the 14th would conflict with other things that this is fixing. So we can move it to the Monday, the 12th, instead of on Mardi Gras Day. But we can work on that too.
And a lot of people go out of town for that whole Mardi Gras week, so there may be a lot of conflicts on Monday before.
Of course, Wednesday the 14th is
Valentine's Day.
A lot of people are going to be in trouble.
Yeah, we don't want nobody getting in trouble on Valentine's Day. So we'll work on that. But anyway, that's how the process goes. So we have a motion and a second, right? And we did discussion. Any more discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. Engineers report?
Thank you, Mayor. I'd like to point something out, since we're a part of the reporting of the sales tax revenue and the user fee revenue. And I've pointed this out before, but as Byron said a while ago, how things are presented are often very, very important. When you discussed it earlier this evening, you talked about how, for numbers, there was a 30% increase in November over last November. And that's not a useful piece of information. What's useful is what happened between November 2022 and November 2023. And that's why I do this. If you look at the graph, you'll see all the ups and downs, and I'm pointing to the corner, the very corner of the yellow.
The yellow sheet, yes.
you see the ups and downs. If you look at this thing month by month, you get up and down, and up and down, up and down. The red line is what's valid. The red line tells you how this averages out over 12 months. So in case somebody thought suddenly the sewer department was having revenues increase by 30%, that's a snapshot. That's like somebody taking a picture of Jeff Dorey and he having to have his eyes closed.
He was sleeping.
Or me, whatever. So I just want you to be aware that the red line is what's important, far more so than comparing this month to 12 months ago. That's it. That's all I have. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Thank you, sir. I want to wish everybody a very merry and blessed Christmas, and thank you all for such a great last year. Let's keep pushing forward and keep making Crowley what we all want to see her be. Motion to adjourn from Alderwoman Marks, second by Alderman Core. All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you all.
I would say it. Get the hell on out of here.
Give this to you.
Very good over there.
Thank you.
I need to be able to see you, but